Bam, bam, bam. All right, we're live. Just got home, man. Got home from driving around. See if I could pull my own live up. Yeah, I just got home from driving around, struck out. That's how it goes. Um, just pulling up my live, making sure it's all right. Bam. All right. Check me out. There I am. Bam. Yeah, so I was driving around and struck out. I went to a new area, um, drove around there, hit the north side today, but didn't have much luck. So just got home right now, ate a little bit of lunch, and wanted to go live. I might still head out later, but yeah, we'll see, man. So actually, I could still hear this. Bam, bam, bam. But yeah, this is another random one, man. Another random one. Just wanted to put out a little something for y'all. So in regards to yesterday's video, I guess I wanted to speak on a little bit and share my experience as to why would somebody still be on the streets, still choose that life and everything that comes with it. Why would they, and for them to still know the resources, right, and still choose that life, right? I guess it's kind of like having like a winning card in your back pocket, right? And you could pull that out anytime, and you could walk through the doors of detox or rehab at any time. But the addiction, your habit, still overrides everything. So I'm trying to tap into the mind frame, of how I was back then. Like I'm sure it looks stubborn. I'm still, like, from an outsider looking in. I'm sure it may seem like stubborn for them to know the resources available, but yet they still, choose not to go. So for me, ultimately, man, I just still wanted to use, right? As I'm sure a lot of them are, or a lot of them do, right? So it might be something as simple as them not wanting to face withdrawal. That's no fun. Um, Dope sickness, right? There's so many things that come with that. You're gonna feel like crap. If you guys are in here, say hi. Who's gonna be the first to say hi? This is a random one, so just wanted to give that little intro before I start. And once I see that first comment, there it is. What's up, Laura? What's up? What's up? Yeah, this is a random one right here. Just got back from driving around, didn't have any luck. I saw this tall person from a distance wearing a wig. Turns out it wasn't a girl, let's just say that. But I didn't pull over just because it was like in a weird area. Not really weird, it was just kind of hard to find parking. So, drove around, hit the north side, didn't have much luck, and, just got home and wanted to put out a little something. And like I said, man, I might still head out in a little bit, just gonna wait for the food to settle, and this will go as long as it goes. Probably about 30 minutes or something. We'll see. But yeah, thank you, thank you. So why would someone choose to be on the street, man? Yet they know the resources, and you're probably thinking, like, why don't they just go get some help? Go get some help. All your problems will be solved, right? All your problems will be solved. Like, yeah, like, ultimately, yes. No, well, not all your problems, but the addiction, like the habit, will be solved if they just go get some help. But I think there's more that goes into it right? Some people might be hooked and fascinated with, the overall ritual of picking up. For me, that was huge, man. Waking up dope sick, right? Of course it sucked. Part of the ritual, the routine, part of the actual high for me, the suspense and all that, was picking up the phone and confirming the deal, right? Calling my plug and him saying yes, come by in 30 minutes or whatever, right? That was part of the lifestyle, and the lifestyle is huge, man. It's huge. I was really hooked to that too. My routine was to call, confirm, and he would say yes. I'd go drive around. If he had me wait like an hour, I'd still go drive around the area, park, and then once I meet him, pick up. Just even something as small as seeing him open that door just made me feel good. Like it was like a sense of relief. I'd be dope sick. There'd be times where I'd be driving, and hey, what's up, April? Welcome to the Random Live. That's how I do it, man. I like catching you guys off guard. So I'm trying to do this more. Trying to do this more, just so I get used to it, man. It's just still weird, but there'd be there'd be times where I'd be driving to my plug's house, and I'd have to pull over because the withdrawals would be so intense, and I would just start gagging, like dry heaving, and I'd be throwing up, right? If I had like a grocery bag or a Circle K bag, I'd be throwing up, right? And it sucked, right? But I would get to his house. As soon as he opened the door, it was like God. He was my higher power. He was all that mattered, right? Definitely we got addicted to the ritual of using. Yeah, the whole routine, man. It everything came together, man. And it's just crazy like how much it takes over your life, dude. It takes over everything. It consumes you, man. And the insanity of it, right? Wake up dope sick. All I'd want to do was use. But after I, do my thing, use, all I'd want to all I would want to happen is for me to be clean, right? It's just so weird, right? But I'd get to his house, see him open the door, and it's like I could breathe again. I could breathe again, just knowing about I was about to pick up and use, right? Whatever happened after that happened, and it's just crazy, man. So that whole lifestyle, like the title of this thing is they know the resources available, yet they still choose the streets. That just goes to show how strong this addiction is, right? They might not want to leave their loved ones that are still out there. They could have family out there, they could have friends out there and all that, right? There's so many things that they could be missing. And I know it's going to be different for everybody. That's why when I do these interviews, I like asking them, or I like hearing about why they still choose the street when they know like detox is down the street, or they could just give me a call and I'll pick them up, right? There's a payoff for every step. Yes. Yeah. Right. It's like playing the tape through. If I go to detox, I won't be able to use. If I go to detox, I'm gonna get dope sick, right? And those choices, like once you're hooked, right? Like I've said before, the only thing that mattered is getting your fix, and that's the only thing that mattered. Everything else was like secondary, right? Whatever happens happens after that. Um, but if you go to detox, that main thing that you're searching for, you're fiending for, and all that, that's just going to be wiped away, and you're probably going to be like really unsure as to the next steps. They might just not want to face reality, right? Because they know they're going to have to maybe after they get all that stuff out of their system, they're going to have to go to detox, and they might have to go to rehab or a halfway house. And they might not just not want to face it, right? It's a lot easier to just kick it on the street in a tunnel and just smoke, and that's your full day, right? When you wake up dope sick and you cop your whatever you're copping, that is all you have to do for the rest of the day. It's so easy to, that life is just so easy but so hard at the same time. And probably about a month ago, I was gonna do a video on there's more things, you know, that I was afraid of than passing away, right? Than death. But I just never did. I just never decided to touch on it because it was I think I've touched on that stuff before, whatever, but I know this one's random live. Let's see what else. But yeah, thank you, April, for being here. Thank you, Laura. If you guys have any questions about like the world of addiction or questions for me, Kai Bear, what's up? I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome. So if you guys just got here, I was out driving around, didn't have any luck getting an interview. So I just got home, ate some lunch, and probably gonna head out pretty soon. Had to do a lot of driving ever since I started these things. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, about addiction or whatever, right? Just drop them below. Let me know where you're watching from. Hit that like button, all that good stuff. Let's see, what else? What else could I talk about? They know the resources available, yet still choose the streets. So if you guys watched her interview, you could tell like immediately she got really emotional, right? If you guys watched that, let me know in the comments why you think she got emotional. I kind of have my thoughts on things. Could be multiple things, right? But these people, man, you know, some of the interviews go really well, really smooth, really fluent and stuff. But there's some where I kind of have to pry, and there's some where they give like one word answers. So they might not be used to like feeling emotion and things like that, right? It may have been a while since they felt or even thought about why and what led them to the street. When you're in active addiction, don't you think that part of the problem is our problem solving skills are stuck? Yeah. Like everything is rusty. Everything is rusty, man. And everything is a big step, you know. It's kind of like wearing 100-pound shoes. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of thought, you know. And some might not have like the coping skills, or some might not have the resources, some might not where to go. But a lot of them might just need a nudge, right? A little kick in the butt, some incentive. Some just need to be reminded, you know, that they're worth it, that they're possible. Amy, what's up? What's up? Welcome. Damn, I'm still trying to get used to going live, dude. It's pretty fun, though. It's pretty fun, man. It's thrilling, yet scary at the same time. Because there's people watching, but they're not saying anything, right? It's like someone peeking through your blinds. It's like, who is that? Who is that? Shout out Australia, though. But yeah, like Laura was saying, the problem solving skills are stuck. They might not have had to do anything but find a piece of foil, find a straw, and just get high, right? Their only decisions are, where am I going to get a little snack to eat? If I should walk down this alley, right? And also keeping the plug in your immediate area. And those are really the only decisions you got to make. And anything else that goes on in the community, like your little homes tribe or friends, using friends, all that, right? Sydney, Australia here. I used age back in the 80s. Recently suffering from fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia. Doctors put me on fatty patches, which led to relapse. So now I'm on methadone. Yeah. I've never heard of the patches though, but that is the safe fatty, right? And that is safe treatment right there. Jersey, what up, dude? Hell yeah, man. Really good seeing Jersey. Jersey's a character. Love Jersey, man. What's up, brother? You should be at work right now, bro. Amy says you'll get the hang of it. You're doing well. Yeah, thank you. Kind of like scatterbrained. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, about anything, just drop them below. Kai Bear, what exactly is fibromyalgia? Not 100% sure. I've heard of the word, but I'm just not sure, like, what it is and stuff. But really good seeing everybody here. Sitting in the buggy. Hell yeah, man. Yeah. God. I really wish I could do YouTube full time. Like, it's just so fun. It is so fun. Now that I don't have eBay to do anymore, that's what I did full time. But still looking for work. I think once I get another job, I want it to be part-time, maybe like 20, 30 hours a week. That way I could still do YouTube as frequently and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. That's a whole nother process, another video. Mary, what's up? But what was I gonna say? When you're doing something for 30 years, it's gonna take years to get better. Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%. I love when James comments. I love when James comments because I know he relates with a lot of what I'm saying, and I know he knows I relate with a lot of what he's saying, man. James asked a lot of, or he writes a lot of good comments. He asked one question maybe a few months ago, and I did a video on that. But I love his questions, man, and he really knows. He knows his stuff. But you're right, man. When doing something for 30 years, it's going to take years to get better. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight, man. One thing I wish is, like, even if you go to detox for 24 hours or rehab for a week, just keep going. Just keep going because something could happen, right? For the fact that you keep going, but you still slip up after, that still shows progress, right? That shows that you're just getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. And something, you might just submit, throw in the towel like I did last time at the last rehab. I was getting old and I just got tired. I was like, once I got to the rehab, I was like, I might as well apply myself. Might as well give it a shot. And something just happened, man. When I met my sponsor at a AA meeting, something just happened. Like all the stars aligned. And I guess I had that psychic change. Like I knew I was done, right? I knew I was done. And it happens, man. Like it'll happen at different times for everybody. But when you go to rehab, when you go to treatment, you sit through all the meetings and you have a lot of tools in your arsenal. So, but yeah, as long as you keep going, keep trying. If you get knocked down, don't stay down, man, because something could just happen. You're at detox, right, with nowhere to go, and that was exactly my situation. I went to detox. I was like, I might as well apply myself, dude. I'm getting too old for this. And that last rehab experience was totally different than any other detox or rehab that I've been to. Because when I got to those other places, I was already envisioning my relapse. There would be times where I'd go to detox and call my plug. I'm like, dude, even at the first couple rehabs, I'd call my plug. Like, I'll give you a call when I'm out, right? I'm just going to work the program, just try and be the best rehab client possible. But I already had my mind made up on the relapse, right? Tired of rehab shuffle. Yeah, dude, I was tired of everything. Let me see here. It's easier if I read them on my laptop. Chronic pain disorder. Literally everything hurts. Oh my God. Never quit quitting. 100%. You're tired of the rehab shelf. I was, dude. I was tired of everything. But 100%, man. Like it it took so many bad days, so many bad decisions, jail, prison, you know. Like I just had to keep getting knocked down. Just had to keep getting knocked down. I get 2 weekly take homes, which is good. Good. I'm getting monthly. Those take homes are everything. They're clutch. It's all the methadone is working for you, 100%. That's the only thing that worked for me, man. Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. We just gotta realize that there's better options in recovery rather than scoring all day. Every day becomes emotionally draining, but things only happen with age. Yeah. Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, everybody, please hit the like button. And White Russia, hi everyone. I was on methadone for 12 years. Wow. How'd you get off? How'd you get off? I think I'm over it. You know, I think I'm over it. On my next visit, you know, I'm gonna find out more options. You know, I was told methocarbamol, so I still have to look at that. Still want to find out more about that because if I don't dose, like for 24 hours, like I'm gonna feel like crap. So I just need to make sure whatever else I do is gonna take care of the withdrawals and stuff, right? But yeah. White Russia. How'd you get off though, man? That is shout out to you for getting off. Stuff you seen Kensington. Yeah, Kensington, man. That's as real as it gets right there. I would love to go down there, man. Just take a walk. Kensington. What channels do I watch from there? I watch ATM Fox, Brother Art, AML Films. All great channels, man. They're in the trenches, and there's always something going on, right? I finally checked out the live cameras, the live streams, and if you go on YouTube, type in like Kensington live camera or something live stream, and you'll see like real time footage of what's going on in Kensington. I kicked 160 milligrams. It took me 83 days. Oh man. Were you in jail? That sounds like the only place where you would have to do that. Kicking 160. Were you in jail doing that? Damn. Tapering is the only way to get off. Yeah. Benzos too. Hats off to you, White Rush. Man, White Rusher, you've been through a lot, man. That is That's crazy. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. Couldn't imagine that. Yeah, if you guys are here, man, hit that like button. Hit that like button for this awkward live. Hit that like button for me. Hit that like button for you. All that good stuff, man. Let's see. Tapering didn't work for me. Had to jump. It was the hardest thing. Oh, man. Kicking method was tough. Kicking Suboxone was worth. Erickeel 89. Saludos desde España. What's up? Welcome. Shout out España. Saludos. Buenos días. Erickeel. But yeah, welcome. How do you say welcome in Spanish? Bienvenidos. Saludos desde España. Bienvenidos. I think that's welcome. Whereabouts you live? I am in Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, I'm in Tucson. I rarely go live. It's awkward for me. But I've done hundreds of videos where I'm just talking at the camera. So that's what I'm used to. But I'm trying to go live more often. And it's easier, like if I make notes or if I choose a topic. That way I could kind of elaborate on it. Bienvenida. Yeah, I'm in Arizona. You learn Spanish. Took it in high school. Hell yeah. So overall, now that I have you guys here, now that you're seeing my transition from me talking about myself, what could I do better in these videos? What could I do better? Also, what questions should I be asking, right? I took a screenshot of I think it was the last live I did. I took a screenshot of some of the questions, so that's good. I have that little arsenal of questions there, but yeah, what could I do better as an interviewer? Aside from everything, what could I do better? White Russia, welcome. It's good having you here. It's really good having you here. And it's nice being like in a community, in a live chat of people that know what you're going through, right? I'm currently on methadone right now. I used H for years. That was, I needed that thing like air, right? Like oxygen. But let's see. What else can I talk about in regards to the title? They know the resources available. So when I asked Jessica that question, like if she could elaborate it for people, knowing that she knows the resources, like I wanted to hear like why she still chose the streets, why she still chose that life. And she said her addiction, right? She said she said it's easier said than done. And I could relate with that, right? There was one comment in the video yesterday. It was a video or a short. This guy says she just needs to grow up. And, I take comments like that personal. I didn't get mad or anything, or I didn't fire back at that guy, but, I take those things personal because I was on the receiving end. I was the one addicted out there, right? So it takes a lot more than growing up. Once you're affected by addiction, it takes a lot more than just going to work and paying your bills, right? Whatever growing up is to you. The main thing is that you have to get your habit addressed. That is the priority, and that's what I put in the response, right? We need to. I think I put something like she needs to go to detox, get clean, have an aftercare plan. Maybe go to residential treatment. after that, halfway house, and then from there, we will be stable enough to start making adult-like, grown-up decisions, something like that, right? But but then I think he replied something. It's like, yeah, I hear you. He's like, I was just commenting or thinking about how I was back in the day, but I think he understood what I was saying. Let's see. I can tell you exactly how I kick, but I don't know how to go live. I think if I was on StreamYard, I'd be able to send you a link. I should have done that too. I noticed that you asked about family in your past few interviews. Yes, open-ended questions. Yeah, open-ended questions. Yeah, some questions I ask, instead of how is it out here for you, right? I could ask, what kind of things do you experience out here? Because if I say, how is it out here? They could say good, or bad. So I'm looking for, more than one word answers. So yeah, I definitely need to rephrase some of my questions. But yeah, that's a good point. I love open-ended questions. James asks, tell us how you stay positive. I think, man, ever since, I don't even know if I've always been this way too, but I made a post this morning about the greatest gift I got from early recovery was the ability to feel again. So I think all it took for me, like I'm like just every day normally I'm like a happy, chipper, positive guy. And I don't like negativity. I don't like negative emotion, negative people, negative energy. I just stay away from that because I don't want to be affected. White Russia, thank you so much. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Damn, that's cool. Thank you so much. Definitely getting a burger with that. Shout out White Russia. Thank you for being here. Thank you for contributing too, like during the chat, like with your comments and stuff. That's really, really cool. I appreciate that. But I think for me, all it took for me was to just get clean and sober. That is how I found happiness. That is how I found it took me finding recovery, man. And when I was in treatment, right, also like helping people, complimenting them, opening a door, that makes me feel good, right? Just good, positive, happy things make me happy. It satisfies me. But how do I stay positive is I think naturally I'm a hopeful person. In that hope, right? Like hope and wishes for good, positive vibes. I don't know, man. That's a really good question. How do I stay positive? I think by just doing the right thing, having my life back, the ability, like just knowing the fact that I don't have to wake up and drink. I don't know if you can hear that construction, but they're doing a lot of construction on the street here. But yeah, man, that's a really good question. How do you stay positive? I think hoping for the best, expecting the worst, and just doing the right thing, man. Just doing the right thing and being there for others. That keeps me positive. Keeps me in check. Did anyone here experience anhedonia? I'm not sure what that is. Damn, that construction is crazy. Spent a decade in a room with a broken clock, stuck on 337. I think you're a positive person anyway. Yeah, I think, man, 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 I think Hmm. I don't know. I think working at the hotel and stuff, I've always had to kind of like lead by experience. Aside from my addiction, I was taking cash from the drawers, multiple hotels, got fired from multiple hotels. But aside from that, you know, I held leadership positions at hotels. Um, so leading by example, just kind of taking charge, kind of being a leader, you know, you kind of have to have like a clear mind. Um, I don't know, man. I love that question though. How do you stay positive? Helping others though, for sure. Always the optimist, bro. Yeah, man. That's the way to be too. I really don't like dwelling on things. Things that are out of my control. Even though I'm a huge thinker, right? Huge thinker. Um, about a month ago, I went through like a little mild depression. Didn't record for like 9 days straight. Um, so you know, it happens to all of us, man. And we just have to take care of here first. So yeah, helping others. It's when you stop feeling any emotions. What was that? Damn, they are really tearing up that street. What was Laura's question? I think she answered. It's when you stop feeling any emotion. Yeah, there it is. Anhedonia. I've never heard of that. It's when you stop feeling any emotion. Um, yeah, Deftones back there, dude. That's my favorite band. I painted that in rehab. I painted that in rehab. Yeah, I did a whole video on I think Deftones or that for sure. But yeah, Deftones is my band right there. White Pony. If you know, you know. Yep, it's my favorite band though. Positivity is good till it becomes toxic. Hmm. I don't think I've ever thought of that. How is positivity, how could that become toxic? You know, that's interesting. I'm trying to think here. I don't know how positivity could be toxic, so I'd love to hear more about that. Positivity is good till it becomes toxic. I think maybe fake, right? Like fake people. That's pretty toxic. Like your bitch show helping others definitely helps you become a better person. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I've said it before. When I was in rehab, man, I try to help at least one person a day, and that made me feel good, man. And I still do that today. Still do it today. Sometimes people freak out, like they just look at you funny, you know, after I compliment them on their hat or something, right? Just something. Hey, how you doing? You know, just random stuff. It's funny some of the reactions I get. It's when you it's when you demanded others be positive, no matter what it what is when people melt about everyone around them should feel. Oh, okay. Yeah. 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 Snap out of it, you know. Snap out of it. You have a lot to be grateful for. Don't be mad, you know. Hmm. That's interesting. Faking the funk is toxic positivity. Yeah. And I spot that immediately, man. I spot that immediately. But yeah, if you guys are just getting here, I started off this video talking about they know the resources, meaning the people and people on the streets and addicts, right? They still choose the streets over getting help. And then, you know, we just got talking about other stuff. Just got back from trying to do an interview, but Didn't get any yeses today, so we'll see. We'll see what's up with that. Um, but yeah, you guys are talking some real good stuff right here, man. I love the questions too. Shout out Deftones. Hit that like button for your boy. Appreciate it, man. Faking the funk. Yeah, man. One thing about jail and prison rehab for sure is, you see through a lot of people, and especially being on the streets too. You develop a sense of, I don't know if it's a third eye, but you become more observant. I'm an only child, so I'm naturally observant, right? And I see right through people. It's weird how we could pick up on energy, right? People, you could kind of feel a vibe. I don't know what it is. It's a trip, man. For me, getting real with my feelings is what brings closer to solving my problems. Yeah. For me, getting real with my feelings is what brings closer to solving problems. Yeah, 100%. Sometimes, sometimes when younger, Joe was the best rehab because he had no choice but to go. Yeah, but to get on with it. Yeah, super thankful and never had to detox and withdraw in jail. Um, but yeah, that is definitely one way to clean out. And I'm so surprised when I was in prison, I didn't use in prison. When I was in jail, they in the mornings they did med pass, and a couple of the different units I was in, there'd be some things called boost bars, and I tried those. Let me see. I'm looking them up here. See what they're used for. Buspirone. Yeah, so people would get prescribed Buspirone, and they would sell those things on the in the units, right? And you give them like a soup or whatever, right? Or sometimes they would just give them to whoever wanted them. So I tried those, crush them up and do what we do with those. That was in jail, and but once I hit the yard in prison, I never used. I think I was getting closer to finding recovery, even though I relapsed after prison. Like I was still getting closer to, I think, finally submitting and stuff. But but yeah, I'm just glad I never used in prison. I'm glad I never had to run up a debt, all that good stuff. Like all that bad stuff. I mean, Tommy, thanks for your work. Absolutely, man. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Boost Bro. Yep, those things were flooded in jail, man. Um, and I crushed them up, did what I did with those, and I didn't like it, man. But I just wanted to feel like I was depressed, like jail. That's a whole different vibe. But I was like depressed. I was like, screw it, man, whatever, right? I was hoping somebody would bring in, like an opiate of some sort, but that was never the case. So I just did the next available thing, and it's like a waste of time. Waste of time. But yeah, Tommy, thank you for being here. Kai Bear, I think it would be so hard keeping sober in America, Australia, or where I live. I think it would be hard to find heavy. Yeah, it's amazing, man. Like you guys must be tripping out, you know, in Australia, Scotland. Like you guys must be tripping out as to how toxic America is, man. Like I'm talking about the streets. Anything else, politics, that's a whole nother video. And yeah, there's a lot of toxicity in there, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Love me a good conspiracy. Love me some good puppet talk. But but yeah, man, like I could only imagine what you guys are thinking when you watch these Kensington videos, these Phoenix videos, my videos. Yeah, you guys, man, you're probably tripping out on America, man. One of my old friends moved to Arizona and is working in a recovery home there. Oh, cool. Yeah, I was a life coach for about a year and a half after I got out of rehab. Um, I was even facilitating meetings when I was in rehab. Um, like towards, I think it was the last month I was in rehab, they let me take a course at the University of Arizona. And that was to get my recovery support specialist certification. So I got to leave the rehab, me and my roommate at the time, and they took us in the rehab van to the university. Was there for like 8 hours, and then we were the only ones getting picked up in a rehab van and getting taken back to rehab. That was an amazing experience right there. Um, yeah, it was really cool, really cool. I love working in like rehabs and stuff, but they don't pay well, man. Even though they should. We're dealing with people. We're seeing people come in the facilities, rehabs, detoxes at their worst, and we have to deal with them, right? And some places pay like a life coach or recovery sports specialist. Some places like minimum wage or $12, $13. You know, it's a great job, fulfilling job, but like social work isn't the highest um isn't the highest paying, gig and all that. Scotland is full age. Damn. Like at least they have age out there, man. It seems like it's rare nowadays, especially out here in Tucson, at least. Um, Watched a good documentary on it. What was the documentary that you watched, or what was it about? Let me see if I missed anything. Oh, a documentary on Scotland. Okay, and their situation. Yeah, if it's on Netflix, I'm gonna have to check it out. Might be on YouTube as well. Just the beginning. Are you getting off methadone maintenance? No, no. I dose every day, and um, yeah, I won't be getting off anytime soon. But still doing research as to what options are available. Because if I had it my way, I would get off the stuff today. Um, um, but I'm thankful. The main thing with that was for me to get clean and get my life back. I have that now. After some years, I think it's I'm exploring options as to what's available. But but yeah, we'll see. Not too old to go back to school. Yeah, I think if I do go back to school, it's going to be for a trade. Um, when I went to community college, I think I'm like 10 credits or something from getting my associates. Um, and ever since I worked for myself, I love that. Even though I'm not doing eBay anymore, I'm still flipping stuff locally. Um, yeah, let me show you some. Actually, yeah, it's a shirt. Like I've been selling stuff on Facebook, um, and other platforms. Like I'm still flipping stuff, and I love it, man. I love it. I should have been doing that a long time ago. But yeah, in regards to school, I'd probably go to get a trade. You guys have the scariest wildlife animals. Still H here in LA. Oh wow. East Coast is full of footy. Damn. Yeah, I'm sure in LA, a lot of that is cut, with the footy, um, and like the pure, that it's really expensive. I imagine, unless you know a plug. Unless you know a guy who knows a guy. There's really no H in the East. Only yeah. We're on the East. Are you from, Mary? Freaking Lord, that was funny. Wildlife animals. I would love to hang out with a kangaroo though. That would be so cool. But yeah, that's some real wildlife right there, man. Here in Tucson, I live by a mountain, and I still see deer, roadrunners. We have javelinas, and now that we're going to be getting into summertime soon, spring and all that, like the snakes. I hear them talking about snakes on the news. What to do if you get bit by a rattlesnake. So that's some Arizona problems right there. Javelinas and snakes. Um, Fighting kangaroos. I saw this amazing video of this kangaroo had a dog in a headlock. Um, it looked like he was choking him out. It looked like he had like a rear naked choke. And I guess the owner of the dog ran up to him, just popped the kangaroo in the face, and kangaroo let go. Kangaroo just stood still, like staring right at the guy. I'm sure you guys seen that. That was pretty crazy. But I was pretty scared for that dog, 100%. But yeah, I would love to take my channel on a road. I think one day, man, one day later down the road, um, I'll be, doing some traveling, taking you guys for the journey, doing more live streams, just documenting that journey, man. Just maybe try to find a connection or two up there, and have them show me where to go, tell me where to go or whatever, and just document that whole thing. I think that'd be really cool. Aside from that trucker guy, I don't think many people travel outside their city, in regards to like street interviews and stuff. So I think that'd be really cool. Ask you, what dose are you on? If you're okay. Yeah, the highest I ever went was 155, and I'm down to 40 right now. So that's the methadone right there. Yeah, down to 40. Shout out Deftones though, right? Shout out Deftones. Let's see if I could elaborate more about the topic. Yeah. Yeah, down to 40. Whew, thankfully. But yeah, Jessica, she said the main thing that's keeping her on the streets is her addiction. She knows the resources, but she still chooses to use, right? And I get it, man. Just tapping back into the mind frame that I was in, even making the decision of going to detox, that is a huge life-changing experience. Like, it's a monumental thing, like, in the world of addiction. Like, it's a big step, and you have to be fully committed. Like, you don't have to be. I went to detox multiple times without the intention of wanting to stay there and fulfilling like rehabs and all that. But it's a big step, man. Can't believe how many people are homeless. Oh my god, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't imagine what you guys are. The For those of you watching, out of the country. Like, you guys must be tripping out on the U.S., man. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I could touch more on that topic. Um, unless you guys have any other questions about interviews, about me, about addiction. Um, what was the deciding factor for you to start recovery? I think two things I immediately thought of. Um, One, I'm just getting too old for this. And two, I had nowhere to go. And then three, I guess, because I really didn't make that decision, you know, I think till after within the first 2 to 4 weeks of me being in rehab. I was like, okay, I got a sponsor, a really cool guy. I got him within the first week. He was 80 some years old. I think he was around his 80s, high 80s. This black dude from Chicago. He was in the Korean War. Awesome guy. He understood everything that I was telling him fully, right, as to why I did what I do. I was telling him some of my stories, and everything just worked out. So I had a really good rapport with my sponsor, and I was in a nice, probably the nicest rehab facility I've ever been in. Even though it was state funded, it was still nice. Um, Good food and everything about it. I think it was just time, and I just knew, like deep down inside, I knew like I better take advantage of this opportunity. And I knew if I didn't work that program to my fullest, I'd be right back on the street. And it just clicked one day, like I think after my first couple weeks. Like I said, normally when I'm in rehab, I envision my relapse. I immediately envision going to the bus stop, trying to get on the bus somehow, maybe asking somebody for a couple bucks, seeing if I could get on the bus, and them taking me to my plug's house, my dealer's house. I already envisioned relapses, but something about this last time in treatment was different. I wasn't thinking about that. And that was weird to me. It was a random thought that just popped in my head. I was like, okay, I'm just going to roll with this, right? Just give it a shot, take it one day at a time. And I just applied myself, right? I said it before in older videos. I started to give myself a chance, and I just went with it, right? I just went with it, and it felt good. You know, I started noticing little blessings day by day, like how I was talking about the ability to start feeling again. Like I was feeling real emotions, and that felt so foreign to me. And to be able to feel again just pure happiness, even being grateful for a freaking sandwich, or even a good day in rehab, like everything just felt good, felt pure. I was like, I'm just gonna roll with this and see what happens, man. And 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 the stress of even thinking about using or going back out just faded away. Like it wasn't even a thought anymore. I was present. I think being present as to where I was at really helped me out. That was another great question, James. Love your questions, man. Stay there, kick it 160 while other people would leave and come back. Yeah, kick the first half and leave and come back again while I was staying up all night. Yeah. Man, I know you had to be going through it, but for the fact that you just stayed there, you know, you're hopeful, you're probably drained. You probably weren't trying to leave and put your clothes back on and just Yeah, I don't think it sounded like, I can only imagine how drained you felt. And yeah, the fact that you submitted was huge. So shout out to you for that. Do they have people going out talking to them about resources available? Um, I'm sure they do. I know a lot of homeless addicts, they're part of like behavioral health centers, and they're on a caseload for the people that work at these behavioral health centers. Say for example, I was a life coach and I had a caseload of people. There's jobs out there and people like outreach teams. They go out, they hit the streets, they look for the clients on the list. And so I know they get the resources, but I imagine there's people out there that are giving them resources. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's a thing. Like volunteers and stuff. People might do that are in NA and AA, right? Service work. Some people, I'm sure there's things like that available out there. Damn, that construction. Just crawling up the walls, yeah. Laying on your back with your feet crawling up the wall, yeah. Spending nights in the shower, yeah. I took multiple showers. That was the only thing that kind of made detox uh, or being at home withdrawals is like a hot shower. That kind of made me feel temporary comfort. Yeah, the hot showers for sure. Till finally day 83, and all of a sudden I realized kicked it's over. Wow. Damn. Damn, that's a good, what, 2.5 months of hell. Right, Russia, you've been to hell. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to hear that story. I'd love to hear your story, White Russia. Yeah, and then Amy says, White Russia takes a whole lot of strength. Good on you, 100%. Hardest thing. Or those are people doing outreach. Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, don't want that. Yeah, yeah. Very public destroying revenue sharing. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing White Russia. I mean, even for the fact that you feel comfortable enough here to open up like that, that's awesome. Makes me feel good. So thank you for sharing with me and everybody else watching. That is huge. Um, and that's good for you as well. That's really good for you just to be able to vent and get that out and remember everything that you went through. You know, that's a really good reminder of not to go back. That's all the incentive in the world to not go back. And I've said it before, and I tell the people I interviewed, like, I need to hear these stories still. That way it's fresh in my mind for me to not go back. Because if I'm not doing anything or even boredom, you know, I'll mess around and relapse. You know, I'll be right back out there. So I still need to hear these stories. And yeah, thank you for opening up for sure. That's huge. Yeah, the hot and cold feeling. And then the chills, the rapid cold sneezes, the watery eyes, the yawns. Oh, no thanks. No thanks. Yeah, yeah. Mary said, White Russia, thank you for sharing your story. I'd love to hear it all. Maybe within time, you know, if I do go live more or if you ever need to talk, you could always reach out, you know. Um, but but yeah, thank you for even feeling comfortable to share your story. That's awesome. Anyone else get that funny smell when they're withdrawing? Funny smell. I know I smell funny when I'm withdrawing. Straight up. Just want to say thanks for all your advice and support. Catch you in the next bid. Thank you, James. Always good seeing you, bro. Always good seeing you, man. You know, I love your questions, man, so keep them coming. Um, if you ever need me to do another video for you, you know, I'll do it. So, thank you for stopping by, bro. I'll never forget. We're in the junkie book. Yeah, that's what they called it. Yeah. 6:30 in the morning. Actually, no, we left the rehab like at 6 or something. Packed that white van full of our rehab mates, and took us to the 6:45 meeting, and they called it the druggy buggy. Yep. Damn, it's raining outside. It's crazy out here in the desert, man. Delphi with the rain. I was going through my gas has been shut off, so I was able to take cold. Oh man, cold showers. Yeah. Thank you, Mary. Hit the like on your way out, please. Oh my God, you speak English? I do. I was born speaking English. Malka Juliet. I'm not sure how to say the first name. Malka Juliet. Yes, I speak English. White Russia says, everyone know how hard I was kicking. Stop asking me. Yeah. Yeah, it's the worst. It is the worst, man. And it seems like it's never going to end. That was one of the worst parts, like being on day 2. Day 2 was always the worst for me. Cuz like you wake up and you know you're going to have to face another full day of feeling like how you feel, right? Day 2 is the worst for many reasons. The withdrawals are there, probably even worse. And just knowing you have a full day of feeling like crap, you know? Damn, it is pouring. Thank you for this. I'm going to put that song on. Count my blessings. Absolutely, man. I'm so glad everybody's here. But yeah, again, thank you, White Russia, for feeling comfortable enough to open up to us, you know. Chemical smell. Just can't hear what we were talking about today. Malka Juliet. Where are you from, Juliet? I'm just going to call you Juliet because I don't know if I'm saying the first name. But yeah, if you're unaware, this is my channel's about addiction, recovery, homelessness. I started my channel telling stories about my time in active addiction. And now I interview like homeless addicts, people on the street, giving them the opportunity to share their story. And I chose this title, They Know the Resources Available, Yet Choose the Streets. That was inspired by yesterday's video. So welcome. But yeah, we're talking about recovery. I'm from Finland. Wow. What time is it in Finland? I don't even know where that's at. I know what it is, but don't know where it's at. Oh, 10:18 p.m. Wow. Yeah, you guys are... Finland is 8 hours ahead of me. Finland. Let's see, where is that on the map? That's how smart I am. Damn, these construction guys are working in the rain. Okay. Okay. Norway, Sweden. So you're in that area. I used to wrestle in high school, and during the summer there was this form of wrestling called freestyle wrestling and Greco and all that. And I did a book report on wrestling, and it turns out it originated like in the Norway, Sweden. I'm sorry, yeah, Norway, Denmark, and one other area. I think Sweden, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. So that's where wrestling originated. Uh, Greco-Roman, I think, obviously might be in Greece, but yeah, Finland looks beautiful. Suomi. Yeah, Finland. I'm just looking at it on the map right now. But yeah. Damn, it is crazy pouring outside. 22:18. Yeah, I'm recovering alcohol. Recovering alcohol addiction, man. What are you what are you recovering from? Mocha Juliet. Yeah, what was the monkey on your back? Just ask that. 3 months sober now. Congratulations. Hell yeah. Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. It's possible. It is possible. Damn, the light's flickering, dude. It is crazy out here. It's all gray outside. I don't think I'll be hitting the streets anytime soon. I need a haircut too. Damn. This is the longest I've ever been live. Love the interaction. Love the interaction. Congrats, Mocha Juliet. So how do you feel now that you're 3 months sober? How does it feel? And how long were you using or drinking, whatever your the monkey on your back was? I went to AA when I was in rehab. My favorite chip of them all was the 30-day chip. My first month. I forgot what color that was. Red? It was a 30-day, my first month. Yeah, just getting to that first month was rough. My first 30 days, I think it was. Hell yeah. But yeah, shout out to your recovery, man. Shout out to everybody being here. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. Maka says, it feels weird. I used to drink 8 years like a functional alcoholic. That's a long time. I feel you. Oh no, I wonder if the storm is coming up here to Phoenix. It is pouring outside though. It is gray. On the bright side, the construction stopped, so they got rained out. Feels weird. I used to drink 8 years. Yeah. And it might be like that for the first year at least, especially after 8 years. The post-acute withdrawal syndrome. So I think my first 90 days, 60 days for sure, I was really emotional. There's this I guess it's a medical phrase, post-acute withdrawal. So your body is still recalibrating, I think the first couple years or a year for sure. And your levels are kind of all over the place, inside. So you might be experiencing. There we go. So your highs are going to be real, your emotions. You might be emotional and stuff. Hang on one sec. Oh, okay. yeah, so you might be like real. I remember for me, my first 30 days, 90 days, like I was like really happy. And then when I was sad, I was like really, really sad. My emotions and my mind was all over the place. I had some anxiety. So after you get past the like the physical detox, then that's when you know, you're gonna start to experience like the mental side of things, and that could be pretty overwhelming for sure. So shout out to you for hanging in there. For me, it was the 90-day chip. Yeah, love the 90-day chip. Yeah, there it is. I think the which one is the red? Yeah, 1 month. That was the red one. Um, 3 months. Yeah, so the 90-day was the green one. Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't already, guys, hit that like button for your boy. Or dislike. Doesn't matter. I'll take it all. That's a good question, Lord. What have you filled your time with now? Yeah, if Maka doesn't respond, I might have to take off too. Yeah. But but yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here. This was a random one. I appreciate all the interaction. I appreciate the questions. Um, and thank you, Amy, for tapping in from Australia. Um, thank you, Mary, Laura, the mods for sure. Just thank you everybody for tapping in. You know, Mark says I feel my time with work and Netflix. Yes, yeah, just staying busy for sure. Yeah, staying busy though, 100%. But but yeah, definitely Malka, if you haven't, please subscribe. I gotta charge my phone too. But yeah, subscribe. Everybody hit that like button if you can. Um, yeah, the dogs are asleep. They're passed out. They are passed out. My bed's not made to, otherwise I'd show you. But yeah, I woke up and hit the road. I usually make my bed, but it's not. Oh, my little mama. My little mama needs a bath. Little mama needs a bath. Little mama needs a bath. But yeah, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for subscribing, Maka. This is Sadie. It's my girl. My little hairy lady. My little hairy lady. Love you, mama. My buddy Omar. Yeah, I gotta take these dogs outside. But yeah, anyway, thank you everybody for being here. Bubba. Bubba. Oh yeah. What you doing, Bubba? Oh Bubba. Oh Bubba. There's the buddy. There's the Bubba. Oh Bubba. What are you doing, Bubba? Are you stretching? Are you stretching? Bubba. I'm go outside. I'm go pee pee. I'm go pee pee. Oh, so heavy. You're so heavy. Yeah, that was Omar. But yeah, guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. This is fun. before I go live next time, I'm gonna pick another topic. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. I could even do a live, dedicated to the topic, to the question. So I appreciate it. Everybody, thank you. Maka, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you everybody for reaching out, engaging. That makes it easier for me because I don't do this often. I don't go live often. But it was fun. I felt comfortable. This is probably the most comfortable I ever felt doing this. So huge shout out for all the interaction. Thank you.